Hovering in the shadow of Earth's moon, I watched the blue planet rotate silently below us. It was a beautiful sight, one that filled me with an unexpected sense of reverence. From up here, you couldn't see the chaos of humanity, only the tranquil blues, greens, and whites of their natural world. "Beautiful, isn't it?" murmured Zalwar, my second in command, echoing my thoughts. I nodded, though the weight of our mission pressed heavily on my heart. "We come in peace," I practiced under my breath, the phrase feeling alien even after countless rehearsals. Our mission was clear: to bring Earth into the fold of the Galactic Alliance, for the greater good of the galaxy. But as the moment of first contact drew nearer, my doubts grew. Humans were known across the stars for their resilience and ingenuity. Despite their primitive technology by galactic standards, they had a knack for surviving, for thriving even in the harshest of conditions. It was this indomitable spirit that I admired and feared in equal measure. As our ship descended into Earth's atmosphere, I couldn't help but recall the briefings. Humans are unpredictable, the commanders had warned. They fight among themselves as fiercely as they defend their kind from outsiders. But standing on the brink of contact, all I could see was a species with the potential for so much more. Could we not forge a new path, one of mutual respect and understanding? The touchdown was smooth, the Earth's gravity pulling us gently to the ground. We had chosen a secluded area to avoid causing panic, a wide expanse of green surrounded by dense forests. The air was fresh, a cocktail of scents that was entirely new to me, and for a moment I allowed myself to marvel at the sensation. Our delegation stepped out of the ship, dressed in our most non-threatening attire, a gesture of peace. We weren't here to conquer but to converse, to extend a hand of friendship. I led the way, my senses on high alert for any sign of human life. We didn't have to wait long. A group of humans approached, their faces a mix of curiosity and caution. One stepped forward, a gesture of leadership. "We come in peace," I announced through the translator, the device humming softly around my neck. The human's response was hesitant but polite, a mirror of our own apprehension. "Welcome to Earth," he said, a hint of disbelief in his tone. "I suppose you've come a long way." The exchange that followed was cautious but genuine. We spoke of our mission, of the Galactic Alliance, and of the place we hoped Earth could hold among the stars. The humans listened, their expressions a tapestry of emotion: surprise, skepticism, but also a flicker of hope. It was a fragile moment, a delicate dance of diplomacy under the vast expanse of the sky. But as we conversed, a sense of camaraderie began to form, a mutual understanding bridging the gap between our worlds. They showed us their world, not just the technology and achievements, but the spirit of humanity, their art, their dreams, their relentless pursuit of knowledge. I realized then that this mission was not about subjugation or assimilation. It was about partnership, about recognizing the potential in each other to create something greater. The humans, with their fierce spirit and boundless creativity, had much to offer the galaxy, just as we had knowledge and experiences to share with them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, I stood beside our human counterparts, watching in silence. Earth was not just another planet to be added to the Alliance's ledger. It was a world brimming with life, with the capacity for both great destruction and incredible beauty. In that moment, I knew that the battle for Earth would not be fought with weapons, but with words and understanding. It was a battle to change the course of human and alien relations forever, a battle not for dominance, but for unity. And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, a beacon of possibilities in the darkness, I felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, together we could face whatever challenges lay ahead, not as conquerors and the conquered, but as equals, as allies. The journey would be long and fraught with uncertainty, but for the first time I believed it was a journey worth taking. The early warmth of understanding chilled rapidly as our delegation, intent on peace, was met with the sharp edge of human fear. As we navigated the complexities of our initial greetings, a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation, and suddenly the air was thick with tension. A device in my hand, meant to enhance communication, was mistaken for a weapon. The reaction was instantaneous, a cascade of fear that turned to aggression. "We only wish to talk," I pleaded, the translator barely keeping up with the urgency in my voice. But the language of fear knows no bounds, requires no translation. The humans, for all their curiosity, were primed for conflict, a survival instinct as raw and powerful as any force of nature. The scene descended into chaos. Shots rang out, not aimed to kill, perhaps, but to defend. To the humans, we were the unknown, a potential threat to their world, their existence. I saw it in their eyes, wide with fear, hands shaking as they held their weapons. It was a dance as old as time, a tragic ballet of misunderstanding. And yet, amidst the turmoil, there were moments of profound bravery and compassion. Humans shielding their fellows, offering aid to the wounded, regardless of which side they were on. In their eyes, I saw not just fear, but a fierce determination to protect what was theirs, a sentiment I could not fault. As the dust settled and a precarious ceasefire was established, I found myself sitting across from one of the human leaders, a temporary truce brokered by necessity. "We did not come here to cause harm," I explained once more, my voice weary with regret. "Our mission is one of peace, of shared knowledge and understanding." The human, his face etched with the lines of 100 battles, nodded slowly. "And yet, here we stand, on the brink of war," he said, a bitter acknowledgement of the situation. "Fear has a way of clouding our judgment, of turning neighbors into enemies." It was a sobering realization, the cost of our arrival laid bare. The path to understanding was littered with obstacles, with centuries of human history shadowing every attempt at peace. And yet, the acts of bravery and compassion I'd witnessed among the humans spoke of a potential for much more. They were a species capable of great love and great sacrifice, qualities that resonated deep within my own being. In the silence that followed, a new resolve took shape within me. The battle for Earth, for its place within the galactic community, would not be won with weapons or words alone. It required something more, a bridge between our worlds built on mutual respect and shared experiences. As I stood to leave, the human leader extended his hand, a gesture of peace amid the uncertainty. "Let's try this again," he said, and in his grasp, I felt the weight of possibilities, the fragile hope of a future where humans and aliens could stand together, not as adversaries, but as allies. The road ahead was uncertain, fraught with the potential for more conflict, more misunderstanding. But it was a road we had to walk, for the sake of Earth and the galaxy beyond. The battle for understanding had just begun, and I was determined to see it through, for the promise of what could be, of a universe united in its diversity. In the heart of conflict, amidst the crescendo of our so-called peaceful integration, I found myself ensnared in a web of moral quandaries. The cities of Earth, once vibrant and teeming with life, now lay in ruins beneath a haze of smoke and sorrow. Their once majestic forests burned, oceans poisoned by the fallout of our engagement. I couldn't help but marvel at the irony we came to save them from themselves, yet here we were, orchestrating their potential downfall. During an operation to secure what we perceived as a strategic location, we encountered a group of human resistors. They fought with a ferocity that belied their numerical disadvantage, a testament to their will to survive. When the skirmish ended, we took prisoners. It was during my interactions with these captured humans that the scales fell from my eyes. One, a young woman with eyes like the turbulent seas of her planet, spoke of her dreams not of conquest or domination, but of seeing her world join a community of stars, of learning and growing together. Her words struck a chord within me. Freedom, she said, is not just the absence of oppression, but the liberty to choose one's path. Her resilience, her hope in the face of despair, illuminated the depths of humanity's spirit. This was not a species in need of subjugation, but one deserving of partnership and respect. As days turned to weeks, the cost of our victory grew ever starker. The environmental devastation, the loss of innocent lives, the erosion of our moral high ground all painted a picture of a Pyrrhic victory at best. The voices of the captured humans echoed in my mind, a chorus of defiance and determination that haunted my waking moments. In a moment of reflection, amidst the ruins of a once thriving human settlement, the folly of our mission laid bare before me. We had underestimated humanity, not in terms of military might, but in the resilience of their spirit. Our mission, conceived in the sterile halls of galactic diplomacy, had failed to account for the complexities of the human soul. In confronted with the reality of our actions, I could no longer silence the growing turmoil within. The essence of our mission, to bring Earth into the galactic fold, had been corrupted by the very tactics we employed to achieve it. The realization hit me like a physical blow. We were not the saviors we believed ourselves to be, but potential oppressors blinded by arrogance. The turning point came unexpectedly, a quiet moment under the watchful gaze of Earth's moon. As I looked upon the world we sought to save, I understood that true strength lay not in the might of one's arsenal, but in the capacity for understanding and compassion. It was then I made my decision to advocate for a ceasefire, to seek dialogue over destruction. The road ahead would be fraught with challenges, both within my ranks and among the humans we sought to engage. Yet for the first time since our arrival, I felt a glimmer of hope. In the resilience of humanity, I saw a reflection of our own potential for growth and understanding. The battle for Earth would continue, but the fight for its heart and soul was just beginning, and it was a battle I was determined to wage with words, not weapons. As the dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of despair and defiance, I stood at the forefront of our forces, the weight of the upcoming battle pressing heavily upon my shoulders. The humans, with their backs against the wall, had nowhere to retreat. This was meant to be the final stroke, the battle that would end all resistance and bring Earth under the Alliance's control. Yet, as the human forces assembled, there was no sense of impending doom among them, only a quiet resolve and a fierce determination. They had prepared, not for surrender, but for a stand that would be remembered throughout the ages. It was then I realized the depth of human resilience, their unwillingness to yield, even in the face of insurmountable odds. The battle commenced with a ferocity that shook the heavens. Human tactics were unpredictable, their strategies ingenious. For every move we made, they had a counter, turning our superior technology against us in ways we hadn't anticipated. It was a dance of death and valor, of technological might meeting raw, inventive courage. In the heat of the battle, a moment of truth confronted me. A group of human fighters, vastly outnumbered, had managed to isolate a segment of our forces. Their objective was clear: to buy time for civilians to evacuate a nearby settlement targeted by our campaign. Witnessing their selfless act, a realization dawned upon me: this was not a species seeking dominion over others, but one fighting for the right to exist, to determine their own destiny. Faced with a choice, I commanded my forces to hold. The confusion among my ranks was palpable, but I could not, in good conscience, continue this path of destruction against a people so fiercely dedicated to their planet, to each other. It was a decision that would mark me as a traitor to some within my own ranks, yet in that moment, all I saw was the shared valor and sacrifice on the battlefield, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life itself. This act of defiance from within their expected adversaries' lines sparked a turning point. News of the ceasefire spread rapidly, bringing a temporary halt to the hostilities. It provided both sides a moment to breathe, to assess not just the toll of the battle, but the reasons behind it. In the quiet that followed the storm, dialogues began, tentative at first, but growing in earnestness. As I sat across from human leaders in the aftermath, the air heavy with the scent of regrowth and recovery, I found myself not as an invader but as an equal. We spoke not of terms of surrender, but of mutual respect, of the possibilities that lay in collaboration rather than conquest. The battle for Earth, meant to be the decisive blow that brought humanity to its knees, instead became the catalyst for a new era. In the bravery of the humans and the choice to stand with them rather than against them, a new path was forged, one of understanding, respect, and perhaps, in time, friendship. The war was far from over, but in that moment of ceasefire, a glimmer of hope emerged, suggesting that the greatest battles are won not with weapons, but with hearts and minds united in a common cause. In the midst of our uneasy ceasefire, a distress signal shattered the fragile peace. A third-party alien threat, the Vorax, renowned galaxy-wide as scavengers of war-torn worlds, had set its sights on Earth, attracted by the chaos of our conflict. The Vorax, a swarm-like entity that consumed everything in its path, posed a danger neither humanity nor my people could ignore. As the realization sank in, the lines that divided us began to blur. Survival became our common goal. Standing side by side with human commanders, we formulated a plan. It was a desperate strategy, one that required both our forces to work in unison to repel the invaders. The humans showed no hesitation in joining forces, their earlier animosity forgotten in the face of this new menace. It was a testament to their adaptability, their willingness to set aside past grievances for a greater cause. As the Vorax descended upon Earth, our combined efforts were put to the test. The battle was fierce, the skies ablaze with the light of our united stand. Yet, as the conflict raged, it became clear that a more significant sacrifice was required. A Vorax mothership, impervious to our combined arsenal, loomed over a major human population center, threatening millions of lives. It was then that my closest comrades and I made the ultimate decision. In a move that would forever alter the course of human-alien relations, we piloted our ship on a collision course with the mothership. Our technology, combined with the humans' tactical input, created a chain reaction that would ensure the destruction of the Vorax, but also guarantee our end. In those final moments, as we hurtled towards oblivion, the human commanders reached out through the comm link, their voices crackling with emotion. "Your sacrifice will not be forgotten," they promised, a vow that spanned the gulf of stars between our species. "You've shown us the true meaning of courage." Our final act, a blaze of light that lit up the sky, marked the turning point in the battle. The Vorax, thrown into disarray by the loss of their mothership, were swiftly routed by our combined forces. As the dust settled, and the world stood still, the magnitude of the sacrifice began to dawn on all who witnessed it. In the aftermath, memorials sprang up across Earth, not just for the humans who had fallen, but for my comrades and me. Our names were spoken with reverence, a symbol of the unbreakable bond that had been forged in the crucible of sacrifice. The humans, once wary and distant, now looked upon us with respect and gratitude. Our sacrifice had changed the narrative, transforming us from invaders to allies, from adversaries to heroes in the eyes of humanity. It was a legacy that would outlive us all, a testament to the power of unity and the indomitable spirit shared by all sentient beings in the face of darkness. From that day forward, human and alien stood together, not just as survivors, but as brothers and sisters under the stars. In the quiet that followed the storm of war and sacrifice, Earth and the heavens above it entered a solemn phase of reflection and mourning. Both humanity and my people, once on the brink of mutual destruction, now stood united in grief for the lives lost and in gratitude for the unexpected unity forged in the fires of conflict. It was in this period of collective healing that I found myself in a role I had never anticipated: a bridge between two worlds. The Vorax threat, though vanquished, left behind a stark realization of the fragility of peace and the paramount importance of understanding and cooperation. In the wake of the battle, I, once a commander intent on subduing Earth, now stood as an advocate for a new dawn of galactic integration. My voice, echoing through the halls where decisions of fate were made, carried the weight of the sacrifice made by my comrades and the resilience of humanity. "We stand at a crossroads," I said, addressing a gathering of Earth's leaders and representatives of the Galactic Alliance. The air was charged with a palpable sense of purpose, a collective yearning for a future where the horrors of the past would not be repeated. The path of domination and fear has only led us to grief and near destruction. Let us choose instead the road of mutual respect and understanding. The negotiations that followed were not without their challenges. Centuries of mistrust and conflict had left deep scars, and old grievances threatened to derail our progress. Yet the memory of our shared sacrifice served as a beacon, guiding us back whenever the shadows of doubt loomed large. Through days and nights of dialogue, a new framework for peace and partnership began to take shape. It was a testament to the indomitable will of both our species, a declaration that we would not be defined by our conflicts, but by our capacity to overcome them. This new accord, painstakingly crafted, went beyond mere non-aggression pacts. It laid the foundation for a shared exploration of the stars, for joint ventures in science, culture, and commerce that would enrich both our civilizations. Earth would join the Galactic Alliance, not as a vassal, but as an equal, its sovereignty respected, its voice valued. As I stood before the assembly to sign the treaty that would seal our new understanding, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought us here. From the brink of annihilation to the promise of a united future, the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. "This is not the end," I declared, my hand hovering over the document that symbolized our shared future. "It is the beginning of a new chapter in the story of our peoples, a chapter that we will write together." With the signing of the treaty, a wave of relief and hope washed over the assembly. Humanity and my people, once adversaries, now looked forward to a horizon filled with possibilities. The sacrifices made would be remembered, not as a testament to our divisions, but as the catalyst for our unity. In the years that followed, Earth and the Galactic Alliance flourished. Our cultures intertwined, our knowledge expanded, and together we ventured further into the cosmos than ever before. The legacy of our new understanding was a galaxy at peace, a diverse community of worlds bound by mutual respect and the unshakable belief that together we were capable of greatness. As I stand on the precipice of a new dawn, gazing out at the stars that once marked the battlegrounds of our ancestors, I find myself lost in contemplation of the legacy we've inherited. The battle for Earth, a conflict that promised nothing but sorrow and division, instead became the crucible from which a new era of unity and exploration was forged. It's a paradox that such turmoil and strife could lead to the strongest of bonds between Earth and the Galactic Alliance, a bond built on mutual respect, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to a shared future. Reflecting on the tumultuous events, it's clear that the outcome of our mission was something none could have anticipated. We set out with the intent of bringing Earth into the fold, through force, if necessary, under the guise of galactic integration. Yet what we found was not a species to be subdued, but a partner to be embraced. The resilience of humanity, their willingness to stand in defense of their home, not only halted our advance but opened our eyes to the possibility of coexistence. The sacrifices made by both sides, the lives lost in the heat of battle, have become the bedrock of this newfound alliance. Each name, whether human or alien, is etched into the annals of our history, a solemn reminder of the cost of peace and the value of understanding. These acts of bravery and selflessness have transcended the barriers of language and culture, fostering a deep respect that has forever altered the course of human and alien relations. Now, as we stand shoulder to shoulder, our gaze turned towards the vast unknown, I am filled with hope for what lies ahead. The legacy of the battle for Earth is not one of conquest, but of collaboration. We have shown that even the most entrenched foes can find common ground, can work together to face the challenges of the cosmos. Our joint missions, our shared endeavors in science, art, and exploration, speak to the limitless potential of our alliance. Looking forward, I see a future where humans and aliens thrive together, where the lessons learned from our past conflicts guide us in our journey through the stars. We are explorers, pioneers on a boundless frontier, united by a common desire to understand the mysteries of the universe. The path ahead is uncharted, fraught with unknowns, but it's a path we will navigate together, side by side. As I reflect on the legacy of our battle, I am reminded that it's not the victories we achieve that define us, but the manner in which we overcome our adversities. The bond between Earth and the Galactic Alliance, forged in the fires of conflict and solidified through acts of courage and compassion, is a testament to our shared capacity for growth and change. The future is a tapestry woven from the threads of our collective aspirations, a vision of harmony and adventure among the stars. It's a future I look forward to with eager anticipation, a future where the legacy of our battle is a beacon of hope for all the cosmos.